Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Strategic Command, World War II, World at War. It is February of 1942, the Axis are on the march in the Pacific, the Japanese have just taken Manila, and are threatening the American forces on Corregidor. Meanwhile, they're preparing for the drive on Singapore, a bit behind schedule, but frankly, the way this game works, there's not a lot of other options. And they have begun taking some of the Pacific atolls, although not as quickly as I think we need to. We've taken Nauru, we've taken Tarawa, but we don't have sufficient forces here defending these other positions here, so we're going to have to see how we can go about remedying that. Additionally, the Americans just destroyed a unit, a transport unit off the coast of the Saipan, of the island of Saipan. Unfortunately, we did destroy the American cruiser in return, but we can't land on Guam yet because they're crammed full of fighters, so we're going to have to figure that one out as well. With that being said, we're pretty much done with this turn. In China, we're driving on Chongqing and Xi'an, two key towns, actually one of them the capital in China. But in Europe, the offensive in Russia is sort of grinding to a bit of a halt here in the winter of 42. Hopefully we're able to get things back on track in 43. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what happens in the Allied turn. So the loss of the Philippines reduces American morale. Japan celebrates the surrender of the Philippines, so the Philippines does surrender. Japan gets 48 MPPs. There are some remaining American units on the islands of the Philippines looks like they're surrounded now. So the British are deploying forces to India. General MacArthur is arriving in Australia. So some various events going on. Allied radars disrupting the Japanese convoys from Manchukuo. We're shelling the west coast with Japanese submarines, although I don't have any submarines over there, so it must just be an event. And we're going to jump right in. Let's see what happens. All right, so British carriers moving around here. I'm a little bit uneasy here. I lost a battleship last turn. We're probably going to lose another battleship this turn for Germany. So we'll see how this all plays out. Meanwhile, winter has come to China. Ah, shit, these guys just got cut off. We're going to have to retreat them through Kirsch. You can see the little blurb representing the front line. Meanwhile, the Americans are reinforcing their fighters on Guam. Fuck. I need to destroy them. I can't let them keep reinforcing these guys. British destroyers are going after some of our subs here in the St. George's Channel. American carriers spotted here to the south of San Diego going after Japanese destroyer. Well, just sank a Japanese destroyer. There's a Dutch fleet. Just what we need to deal with the rest of our Navy completely somewhere else. Nice. Badly damaged that British cruiser. Wow, that submarine is gamely hanging in there. Good God. No! Okay. The Soviet Air Force is starting to get involved here. They've been pretty passive most of this war so far. But they're starting to get in on bombing some of our troops. At least by the looks of this, the seasons may be starting to change. At least this Allied turn, you can see things are starting to turn to mud. Shit. Well, they just destroyed an Italian unit in North Africa. We don't really have the resources to keep devoting large forces to North Africa with the campaign in Russia going on, so every casualty there is pretty disastrous. Why didn't I move my Finnish troops last turn? That was a mistake. Okay, they're driving the Romanians back on the Crimean Peninsula. Interesting. They just attacked to the south of Smolensk and drove us further into Russia, so we gained territory by retreating. Okay, Gormel attacking the garrison troops just opposite of Gormel. Maybe we'll actually get to use our Air Force this turn and start bombing these guys a bit. Yikes. Soviet heavy tanks just ravaged that Italian corps. These are heavy tanks, by the way. That's why their graphic looks a little bit different. Okay, reinforcements. More recon soldiers moving in North Africa. Hopefully we can destroy this recon unit here. The one benefit in North Africa is the British keep trying to outflank us here in the south of the Qatar Depression, and they don't have any supply down there, so our ability to prevent them from flanking us is basically geographic and very useful, I think. Alright. Enemy contact. So there are British ships here in the Mediterranean. I was going to try and pull the Italian fleet into the Atlantic, but we just detected a British destroyer going after the Italian coast. Maybe we'll take that opportunity to reduce that next turn. The Dominican Republic is joining the Allies. I'm not sure that really changes much of anything. Meanwhile, the first Sheikh Corps is arriving in... Oh, another partisan unit. God damn it. Another Soviet unit forming in our rear. Meanwhile, multiple submarines doing damage along supply convoys. We'll have to see what the impact of that is this turn. Surprised they didn't go after our battleship there just north of Brest. We lost the Fubuki, and the 5th Italian Army was destroyed. Meanwhile, okay, we didn't do a ton. I guess 17 MPPs against the Soviet convoys there. Okay. Alright, let's see. What do these guys supply here? Supply 1. So let's do this. Alright. Pretty sure these guys are going to be without supply next turn. These guys need reinforcements, so we'll do that. We're going to really focus this turn. North Africa, this turn is going to all be focused on reinforcements, because Lord knows we need them. Alright, so we basically just got ourselves back up to full strength in North Africa. I'm not sure what artillery really does. I do think they soften up an enemy for an attack. They reduce their fortifications, but that's about it. Meanwhile, what is this? A Australian destroyer over here? It's a bold move there, Australia. I will gladly take a free enemy unit destroyed. Okay. I don't know where to pull this guy. We'll see if he can get up to Taranto. But we just destroyed an Australian destroyer. Huzzah for us. Let's reinforce this guy for the Italians as well. You know, I don't know. I mean, we could try and go to the Atlantic. I'm kind of nervous, though, about what the cost is going to be in terms of damage to these ships. I think you can take damage when you transit the channel. Pull these guys back here. Wonder if we can sink this British carrier. It'd be great to knock out another British capital ship. And then we can put this guy... Oh no! Enemy contact! Hey, nice! That was a very good result. Okay... I'm going to pull this sub over here. Ah, shit. Nice. Alright, I'm kind of getting distracted here. These guys already moved? Or did they not? No, they didn't. Very nice. Put him on the convoy lane as well. Let's move these guys to... I can't set his mode to silent. God damn it. I don't want to... that sub's probably a goner. Alright, have these guys moved yet? No, not really. Why would this sub take 2 damage from the aircraft carrier, but the other ones wouldn't? Well, shit. Alright, British interceptors on land, so our Air Force is going to lose some units, but we did destroy the Royal Navy's aircraft there. Our air wing suffered some damage, but at the very least, we just destroyed another British capital ship. Huzzah for that. These guys, everybody else here already attacked. Meanwhile, our subs in the north are just going to kind of stay on that position up here. So... yeah. Alright, so that's a successful turn at sea, I think. We destroyed a destroyer down here, we destroyed an aircraft carrier up here, and we might have 2 surface vessels transiting the channel and moving into the Atlantic. Maybe. Okay, I didn't actually want you to attack. I guess that's the one annoying thing, is there should be an ability to scout without actually committing to combat, and it feels like this game doesn't really have that. But anyway, yeah, so it's still snowing here in the south, but in the north some of our aircraft are able to fight. Meanwhile, we've still got a lot of units that are kind of without supply, so that's a little bit concerning. Let's do this. Let's bomb these guys. They're entrenched, so we'll hit them with strategic bombers. There'll be an air battle here. Some interceptors are engaging. I'm not really concerned about oh my god. I'm not really concerned with creating casualties in this engagement so much as I am with reducing the enemy entrenchments, which we succeeded in doing. So I think what we'll do here, can we get these Stukas in? More enemy interceptors, jeez. More escorts. Alright, no damage for anyone except the enemy. More Stukas. And these guys can't reach, so let's do these strategic bombers down here to reduce these entrenchments. Okay, so both Garmel and Smolensk are without entrenchments now. These Stukas can't reach Smolensk, so we'll use them on Gormel, or Gomel. And... okay. So I think we used all the air units we wanted to use. We do need to issue some reinforcements to some of these guys. It's going to cost a fair bit of money, but we do want to make sure our fighter force is strengthened for the coming spring offensive. Everybody's operating at below full strength, unfortunately. Alright, so with no entrenchments, they do have some experience and some weapons upgrades. Let's see what we can do. Alright, let's try these guys first. Pull them back. And we'll attack with our mechs. Shit. Why can they never finish these guys off? There you go. Finally. Finally, Smolensk falls. Alright, we took Smolensk. That should be a morale blow to the Soviets. We also just cut Gormel off. I don't think we're going to destroy Gormel this turn. Although, maybe. Yeah, I don't have sufficient troops, I don't think, to get up there. Unless... nope. Alright. It was close. It was a close run thing. Gomel will have to fall next turn. Meanwhile, we need some of these troops to get reinforced here. A lot of our soldiers in Russia are at very low strength. It's kind of a little bit about prioritizing who gets the reinforcements, though, too. That's part of the challenge. The Italians here in the south are substantially undersupplied. Okay. Alright, so we destroyed the Soviet partisan unit over here. Now we've got to move other partisan units here, or other infantry units here forward to deal with the other partisans. Alright, so my plan is to go after them with these guys. Alright, can we form a cohesive front line? Alright, so we'll form a front line here. I think these guys need to pull back, so they don't have sufficient reinforcements or sufficient strength to deal with the Soviets in their front. So we'll pull back like that, I think. These guys are going to retreat. Alright, so I guess we'll move these guys forward here. Alright, so this is going to be a weak spot that the Soviets could attack, but we've at least kind of reinforced or strengthened our position along the front here. We'll try and have a spoiling attack here with our armor against these guys. Wow, that was effective. Nearly destroyed that Soviet corps. Okay. Do we want to reinforce? We can't. So I guess we'll attack the engineers here, hoping we don't lose casualties. We did, of course. Alright, so this unit may get destroyed. We didn't quite have enough strength there to destroy that unit. Alright, so I think Gomel will fall next turn. Smolensk should be relatively safe this turn. Do we want to try and reinforce these guys? No, we can't, so let's pull them back. Meanwhile, alright, so I'm going to try moving my armor over here for maybe a dash on Moscow. I don't know, I feel like I'm really leaving my flanks a bit exposed. But I would like to move some of these troops. The problem is the armor's not very good against enemy soldiers in cities. We probably need another turn to reinforce some of these guys. Can we? No, we can't do anything versus these guys. These enemy heavy tanks are too strong. Alright, so we're going to move some of these guys around here. We're going to reinforce some of our air units. We already did that to some extent. These guys can use some reinforcements. Once we get some of these units up to strength, I'd also like to upgrade them. Okay. Alright, so I think next turn we'll reduce Gormel, and then in May, so next turn will be April, and then in May we'll launch a offensive against the Germans here, or against the Soviets here in Russia. And then hopefully we can break out here. And my goal, I think, for that offensive is going to be Moscow. That's probably overly ambitious. I don't think I've got the logistical support, but maybe just the destruction of as many Soviet units as we can accomplish, hopefully. I'm not really interested in driving north, I don't think. Okay. Alright, so trying to get into the rear of some of these Soviet troops. Let's see. Garrison fighting. Accomplishing nothing here in the north. Alright, it's raining over here, so we'll move these fighters back here. Alright, so that's moving the Finns. We've already done the, I think we've already done what we need to do in the Battle of the Atlantic. I don't think I have any reinforcements to give to our naval units there. So I think we're good there. Let's move some of these guys forward. All right. Yes. Okay. So meanwhile, I think North Africa, I already did my thing in Asia. What are we going to do there? Let's start with the Chinese theater. So we're trying to advance on Cyan. I think to do that, we're going to need heavy aerial support, which frankly, it looks like we're not going to get this turn because I think it's monsoon season for the Chinese here. So what can we accomplish down here? Let's see. Can we up? No, we can't upgrade. We need to upgrade some of these units. I'm frankly less worried about infantry weapons for the Japanese, and I'm more worried about, or sorry, anti-aircraft, and I'm more worried about mobility. We don't have a mobility unlock yet. Are these do we have supply issues here? Sort of. I thought we already, yeah, we did. Alright, I'm mainly going to focus on upgrading infantry weapons here where I can. Meanwhile, I wouldn't mind upgrading our aircraft as well. Again, where money allows. But this is probably a good opportunity to get some of these guys upgraded. That's a heck of an upgrade for that unit. That probably does it this turn, but we got almost all of our troops upgraded to level 2. Let's fall these guys back a little bit. If they advance, we'll have these troops here in the south. Meanwhile, alright, so these guys hoping we'll be able to shift either direction. I don't think I'll have money to upgrade the troops in the south. Right, let's try and work on these engineers here to the south of Chongqing, see what we can accomplish, if anything, other than probably just take casualties. Well, we're good at that. Maybe just focus on these guys here? I don't know. Pretty heavy fighting there, though, in the south of China this turn. These guys all have supply. Good. Trying to break through here. Come on, British. Retreat. Problem is I can't get my transports through here. What if we land over here? Brunei has fallen to the Japanese Empire. Advance on Tarkin, maybe? Doesn't look like Tarkin's going to come with any supply. Well, now I don't have any money for amphibious assaults either. All right, let's... What's this? Clear capital of New Guinea, which is not at war with us right now. Interesting. All right, let's see if we can maybe reduce these fighters. Okay. Yay, doing no damage. Huzzah. Come on, Yamato. Fuck. Alright. So, we know there's an American aircraft carrier over here, but we don't really have the supplies to go after it. We've really got to pull our units back into Japanese waters, where they can draw healthy supply. So, that's what we'll do. Meanwhile, can any of these guys get up here yet? No. But we're going to send our aircraft carriers to reduce Guam. That's going to be the objective. Okay. Alright, meanwhile, the Philippines has fallen. So we're going to destroy what's left of the Americans here. So all of this should be Japanese now, right? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, so now we can begin the work of reducing Corregidor. Is this Japanese too? Yeah, so all of the Philippines has fallen to us. Pelelu is also axis controlled. I wish there was a better way to see. Maybe there is. Is there a better way to show who controls the map? No. Apparently there's not. That's lame. That would be very useful. Alright. I'd like to change these guys over to amphibious assault, but I don't think I can do that yet. Alright, meanwhile, we took the oil fields near Amiri. So Brunei has fallen. We need to go for Kuching as well. North Borneo should fall to us, I think. I need to get my naval forces over here so they can actually do stuff. Might as well upgrade our special forces infantry weapons. Oh, can't afford that. Alright. Meanwhile, I don't really want to... I guess I can pair drop these guys into the Philippines and then they can prepare for operations elsewhere. Really? They're suffering landing casualties in friendly territory? That's weird. Whatever. I can replace those losses. I guess we can always... Let's see here. These guys are allies. Alright. We'll leave them there. Okay, so I think that about does it. I think all of our Air Force here is kind of grounded, and I don't really want to... I mean, I guess I can start attacking some of these units here. Just seems like it's kind of a lost cause, especially with me spending all that money reinforcing some of these troops. Need to move some of these headquarter units further forward. What are these guys? Rating 7? So there's no point in sacking and replacing them with another level 7. What about this? Does this cost money to do? Oh yeah, apparently it does. Alright. Meanwhile, these guys should be in the capital. These guys already are. Should put someone in Hong Kong, probably. Alright. Just make sure no one rises up this turn there. And I think that's going to do it here for this turn. So we're through March of 42. We're not accomplishing as much as we need to, unfortunately. We haven't yet taken Singapore, which is a problem. But the fall of Brunei should help our morale. I'm hoping the fall of Smolensk also helps the morale of the Axis soldiers and maybe disheartens the Soviets a bit. We destroyed the one partisan unit over here. Hopefully we destroy this partisan unit next turn and begin laying the groundwork for our large-scale push deeper into the Soviet Union. Again, I think next turn will be largely a reinforcing turn, preparatory toward the ground firming up in May and hopefully driving on Moscow or something to that effect. Trying to firm up our flank here, get some of these guys dug in, but it's going to be tricky, I think, to hold on to some of these positions while also maintaining a drive east. But we'll see. There may also be an opportunity for swinging south and cutting off all these troops here in the front lines. If we could knock all these guys out of the war, we'd probably win. But I don't know how we'd do that. I'd have to probably take all of my armor over here, move it through Brzezinsk, swing east toward Dvorzha, and then south toward Rostov to cut them all off and hope they don't withdraw. And then we get into potentially a Stalingrad situation. I don't know. I guess Smolensk might have just been Stalingrad, maybe. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy this as always. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.